My girlfriend always gives the gifts I get her to the campus heartthrob she's been sponsoring. This time, she went too far. I had stayed up all night, paying extra just to snag 2 concert tickets. Linda said to me, Aiden wants to see that show too. So, just give him your ticket. Be a dear. You can just go next time. Aiden's been looking forward to this concert for so long. I don't want to disappoint him. The live comments mocked me. LOL, this side character is such a clown. He barely managed to get 2 tickets to go with the second female lead, and now she's going with the hot guy instead. So what? The second female lead is already pissed because she saw the hot guy give chocolate to the poor top student on Valentine's Day. Now she bullies the girl relentlessly, to the point where the girl can barely afford to eat. Oh, I know who that top student is. She's the long-lost heiress of the super-powerful Hayworth family. Once they find her, the girl who's been bullying her and her childhood sweetheart are going to be in for a world of hurt. I smiled and said okay. But then I canceled Linda's ticket and put the money on the poor student's meal card. The top student looked up and asked me, why? I just smiled. No reason. I just wanted to see what it feels like to sponsor someone. You heard what I said, right? Get those concert tickets to Aiden before school lets out today. He's a little shy, so he won't ask you for them himself. You need to take the initiative. Got it? I just stood there, stunned into silence. When I didn't answer, Linda frowned. Aiden's family is poor. He's never been to a concert in his life. You can't imagine how much he's missed out on. His life only got a little better after I started helping him out. It's just 1 concert ticket. Why is this so hard for you? Hearing that, I finally looked up. What about your ticket? A fond smile spread across Linda's face as if she just remembered something sweet. I don't need to cancel mine. This is his first time going to a concert abroad, so I have to be there to look after him. You have no idea what a handful he is. He's this old and still can't fly by himself. I have to take extra care of him. Oh, and don't forget to get me and Aiden excused from evening study hall. I need to help him with his homework. She dropped that line and walked away. Linda is my childhood sweetheart. We grew up together, and she always had my back, never letting anyone bully me. We lived in the same gated community. Until middle school, she used to climb over my balcony every day just to hang out and talk. She was by my side from the moment we left for school until we came home, and she'd even chase away any girls who tried to get too close to me. Whenever I was stuck on homework, she'd patiently explain it to me. Even when we argued, the second I got upset, she would immediately back down and try to make me feel better. We spent every New Year's together. We started dating our freshman year of high school. For years, my only New Year's wish was to marry Linda. That never changed. But ever since Aiden transferred to our school, I've lost count of how many times I've been pushed aside for his sake. Aiden is handsome. He was crowned the campus heartthrob the day he arrived. He was like the male lead in a teen drama, a gust of wind that swept Linda off her feet. Aiden sat in the last row by the window, exuding the cool, solitary vibe of a lone pine tree. From the moment he walked into the classroom, I felt Linda's eyes drift away from me. Aiden's father was a gambling addict who had scammed money from all his friends and relatives. So on his first day, a group of guys cornered Aiden in an alley. One of their mothers needed life-saving surgery, and Aiden's father had run off with the money. That was the day Linda saved him. She threatened the guys, telling them she'd beat them up every time she saw them from now on. Linda's family is pretty well off. She started sponsoring Aiden, covering his tuition and living expenses, and even helping him with his studies. Eventually, Aiden started calling her his honorary big sister. Aiden was terrible at science while I aced physics, chemistry, and biology, nearly getting perfect scores. Without asking me, without even a word of consent, Linda just handed all of my study notes over to him. When I went to get them back, Aiden bit his lip and mumbled, "Your notes, my mom sold them for scrap." At that moment, my heart felt like it was being squeezed by an invisible hand, clenching tight. Those notebooks were my high school lifeline. 3 or 4 notebooks, hundreds of handwritten pages covering everything from complex concepts to summarized mistakes. Every stroke, every word, was a physical manifestation of my entire high school journey. I had drawn countless mind maps to organize my thoughts, filled with detailed diagrams and carefully chosen words. They weren't just paper and ink. They were the bloodshot eyes from late nights under my desk lamp, the mountain of empty pen refills in my drawer, and every single moment I battled with science. My eyes turned red with anger, but I was still trying to figure out how to get them back. When did she sell them? Which recycling center? Call the center right now. We have to find my notes, no matter what it takes. Cornered by my questions, Aiden couldn't speak and hid behind Linda, muttering under his breath. Fine, it's all my fault. Okay? Just please stop pressuring me. They're sold. How am I supposed to find them for you? Look, if it's that big a deal, I'll use my allowance to buy you a new workbook. All right? Linda's face went cold as she scolded me. Leo, that's enough. It's just a few pieces of scrap paper. Can you stop making such a big deal out of everything? Aiden already feels terrible. Why do you have to keep pushing him like this? I was spoiled growing up, so I tend to get heated when I feel wronged. I wanted to scream that it wasn't just scrap paper. It was all my hard work from high school, the fruits of my labor. But then I saw Linda shielding Aiden, comforting him with such tenderness. Somehow the fire inside me just died out, leaving nothing but cold, gray ash. Maybe I knew, deep down, that my feelings didn't matter to Linda anymore. And now, she was casually asking me to give up my concert ticket to make Aiden's wish come true. In that instant, all the hurt and sadness I was feeling suddenly vanished, replaced by a sense of release. I finally got it. It wasn't like I absolutely needed her to go with me. I could go to the concert by myself. A few minutes later, Aiden posted on his social feed. Wished to my big sis Linda that I could see the concert, and like a fairy godmother, she made tickets appear. She said she'll always find a way to get me what I want. I must be the luckiest guy in the world. Linda liked his post. My heart sank. They had already planned to use my tickets to go to the concert together. In their dreams, coincidentally, a rich kid I knew from the same circles had been wanting to buy my tickets for a while. It was the perfect opportunity to sell. Just as I was about to do it on my phone, I caught a glimpse of the top student in the cafeteria, sipping on the free soup. It's no exaggeration to say she was more beautiful than some movie stars. From a distance, she had this cool, detached aura. The live comments popped up again. Gotta say, Mia is the female lead for a reason. She's way prettier than the other girl. She looks like she was CGI rendered. Absolutely stunning. No wonder Aiden likes her. Mia and Aiden live in the same low-income neighborhood. She's been on another level beauty-wise since they were kids, so it's natural he likes her. He used to follow her around like a puppy. But Mia is cold as ice and never gave him the time of day, which is probably why Linda has it out for her. Poor Mia. Just because Linda saw Aiden give her chocolate on Valentine's Day, Linda pulled some strings and got Mia's scholarship taken away. If I remember right, Mia's mom is in the ICU. Her family really needs that money. I instinctively sat down across from her, casually plucked a piece of pickled vegetable from her plate, and took a bite. I almost gagged. This is what you eat every day? Mia tightened her grip on her chopsticks but didn't say a word. The comments laughed. Here we go. Leo is Linda's simp, and since Linda hates Mia, he's going to bully and humiliate her too. But don't be fooled by how pathetic Mia looks now. She's the long-lost heiress of the Hayworth family. Once she becomes the top scorer on the college entrance exams and makes the news, the Hayworths will find her. Mia is the type who never forgets a grudge. When she makes her comeback, Leo is going to be so sorry. I checked the original story. Is this revenge you're talking about, the part where she corners him at her house and, after a long pause, just says, "You were really out of line"? I fell silent. Wow, what a master of revenge. The next second, I sold the concert tickets and, right in front of her, added the money to her meal card. I topped up your card. From now on, eat something nutritious. No more of this stuff. The comments were stunned. What's happening? Leo's not bullying her? The simp isn't helping Linda bully Mia anymore? Mia was stunned too. She lifted her beautiful eyes to look at me and asked softly, "Why?" I stood up and smiled at her. Because I want to see what it feels like to sponsor someone too. And to make sponsoring you easier, let's exchange contact info. Back home, I deleted Linda's contact information one by one. My phone's notes app was still crammed with a detailed list of all her likes and dislikes. The truth is, my family is much wealthier than Linda's. Her father even relies on my dad's connections for his business. So why was I the one who was always so careful, and why was I the one who always got hurt? I couldn't understand why I'd wasted my precious study time doing things like this for her. Just then, I got a message from Mia. Why are you being so nice to me? She must have checked her meal card and seen it wasn't a small amount of money. I scratched my head. What a pain. You even have to come up with a reason to be nice to someone. After a moment's thought, I replied, because you're pretty and you're the top student in the school. You're a decent toy. She didn't even get mad when I called her a toy. Mia replied instantly, I understand. I'll be a good one. Thank you. You're the first person who's ever been this nice to me. When I start earning money, I'll pay you back double. Even without seeing her face, I could picture her dead serious expression as she typed that. I was taken aback for a second. So, there's an emotional return on investment when you give someone a gift. After all, the gifts I gave Linda never made a splash. The next day, I'd always see Aiden with whatever I'd given her. When I confronted her about it, she'd just say she didn't like the gift that much anyway, and since Aiden needed it, it was a perfect fit for him. Thinking about it now, it was all pretty pointless. If that's how it is, I might as well spoil someone who actually appreciates it. Speaking of which, Linda's birthday was coming up. I had already gotten her the limited edition Swiss watch she'd been dreaming of. Every time she saw it online, she'd stare at it for the longest time, the desire in her eyes impossible to hide. I had secretly bought it, planning to give it to her as a birthday present. Now, there was no point. For some reason, my thoughts drifted to Mia. Mia's wrist was bare. She could use a watch. The next day at school, before morning reading, Linda grabbed my arm and dragged me to a secluded corner. She pinned me against the wall. Leo, why did you delete me? She smirked. You're not actually jealous, are you? Just because I told you to give the concert tickets to Aiden? Oh, my little prince, are you really going to throw a fit over something so small? All right, stop messing around. You returned the tickets, right? I'll go to a concert with you next time. Okay? Aiden's never been to one. You should try to be more understanding. He went up a dozen spots in the last exam ranking, and I promised I'd grant him one wish. I looked at her, disappointed. This is their farewell tour. There won't be another one. And my ticket was for a VIP seat near the stage, with a chance to interact with the band. It was incredibly hard to get and cost me a lot of money. I don't think I'm obligated to spend my money to make Aiden's wishes come true. I pushed her away and started walking toward the classroom. As I turned, I saw Aiden. He lowered his head, his eyes red. Leo, Linda, please don't fight because of me. I won't go to the concert, okay? Leo, don't worry about it. I've had a tough life. Linda just feels sorry for me. I'm sure she still likes you deep down. Please don't make things hard for Linda because of me anymore. She's already so tired. She was up late last night helping me study. Linda sighed and affectionately patted his head. You silly boy, don't pretend to be strong. Haven't you always wanted to see their concert? You're just too nice. That's why you always get taken advantage of. She then turned to me, her tone growing impatient. See? Aiden is so considerate of you. But you're always so selfish. So what if it's a farewell tour? It's not like you can't see other concerts. Aiden's not like you. He's a guy, but he's never experienced any of this. I've always felt so bad for him. Since I'm sponsoring him, I should help him make his dreams come true. That's final. Make sure you get the tickets to Aiden before school ends this afternoon. Hearing her words, a sharp pain shot through my heart. All these years, I had given so much. I could never remember my own birthday, but I had memorized all of her favorite things and laid them at her feet. And yet, Linda called me selfish. Aiden just says a few words, and Linda thinks he's being mature and strong, terrified he might feel the slightest bit wronged. But why? I clenched my fists. I can't give him the tickets because I already sold them and put the money on Mia's meal card. You have the right to sponsor someone, and I have the freedom to sponsor someone else. Right? Linda froze for a second. Her face turned ugly. Linda let out a cold laugh. You're only sponsoring her to make me jealous, aren't you? Leo, poor people like her are a real handful. You don't have to put yourself through that just to piss me off. For some reason, I suddenly remembered what Mia had said yesterday. I'll pay you back. I laughed. What is this, a civil war in your brain? This is getting interesting. If poor people are such a handful, why is it okay for you to sponsor Aiden, but not for me? Besides, she's not a handful. She's very sweet. Linda gritted her teeth. Leo, you're being completely unreasonable. Hearing that I was sponsoring Mia, Aiden's expression flickered for a moment. He quickly came over, his eyes red and brimming with hurt. Leo, don't do something so impulsive just because you're jealous. You know it'll make Linda angry. Linda is just sponsoring me. There's nothing going on between us. I laughed. If there's nothing going on, then why did you ask Linda to get my ticket from me when you knew I wanted to go with her? If there's nothing going on, why did you have Linda take my study notes, knowing how important they were to me? If there's nothing going on, why do you go to her house every day for tutoring and always ask me to get you both excused from class? As if you're afraid I wouldn't know? If there's nothing going on, why call her your big sis Linda so sweetly? You know she has a boyfriend, right? If you know, why don't you keep your distance? And if all of that is nothing, then why can't I top up Mia's meal card one time? Aiden, clearly not expecting me to call out his little games so bluntly, looked instantly wounded. Linda gritted her teeth and shielded him. Leo, you've gone too far. He calls me his sister because I agreed to it. Don't give him a hard time. And Aiden is different from you. He never said a word. I'm the one who wanted to do all this for him. Watching her defend Aiden so fiercely, I found it almost laughable. All these years, I had given so much and gotten nothing in return from Linda. Aiden had done nothing, yet Linda treated him like a prince. And in the end, I was the only bad guy. I suddenly felt so tired of it all. I didn't want to argue with them anymore. I just turned and walked away. For the next few days, Linda didn't walk to school with me or say a single word to me. I knew this was her way of giving me the cold shoulder, a little punishment. But I wasn't thinking about her at all. I was too busy playing a new kind of simulation game. I privately arranged for the best doctors to treat Mia's mother. I also pulled some strings to get back the scholarship and financial aid that Mia deserved. Whatever Linda gave Aiden, I would give to Mia. Whatever Linda didn't give Aiden, I would also give to Mia. With me around, Linda couldn't bully her anymore. When I saw clothes that would suit Mia while browsing high-end boutiques, I'd buy them for her. I have to say, my taste is excellent, and Mia's looks are flawless. When she put on those clothes, she looked as beautiful as a model from a fashion magazine. Before long, Mia became the most popular girl in school. Guys even started asking her out. It gave me this proud, fatherly feeling, like watching my own daughter blossom. But she turned them all down. I teased her on purpose. They say high school romance is the best. Why don't you try dating? Her voice was still cool and detached, but her ears turned bright red. After a long pause, she managed to get out, because I'm yours. My heart skipped a beat. I have to admit that line really worked on me. It genuinely made me happy. Besides being a sweet talker, Mia also helped me with my homework a lot. She was #1 in our grade and would give me targeted tutoring based on my weak spots. With her help, my grades had been improving rapidly. I have to say, the emotional payoff from Mia was a lot better than what I got from a certain someone else. So much so that for the past few days, I hadn't even thought about Linda once. Until one day after school, Linda looked at Aiden right in front of me and said, "Remember to come to my birthday party tonight." Aiden lowered his head, blushing. "I'll definitely be there." Just then, Linda looked at me. "Oh right, you come too." Seeing Linda invite me, Aiden's expression changed instantly. I packed my bag and said flatly, "I'm not going." Linda frowned. "Why not? You've always wanted to come to my birthday party. And you've been planning my birthday gift for a long time, haven't you?" I met her gaze and said word by word, "But I don't want to go anymore." Linda's face darkened immediately. "Leo, stop being so childish. What on earth are you fighting with me about this time? Don't play games. I don't have time for this whole playing hard to get act." She held out her hand to me. "Come on." Whether we make up or not depends on your performance tonight. I looked at her. I'm not playing games. I really don't want to go. Linda's hand froze in mid-air. The next second, she scoffed, completely unfazed. Fine. If you don't come, we're breaking up. There it was again. Every time we fought, she'd threatened to break up to force me to back down. Maybe if I just gave in like I always did, if I just ate some humble pie and placated her, Linda would pretend today never happened. But suddenly, I felt so tired of it all. No one can keep backing down forever. Break up? Suddenly, that didn't sound so bad. I nodded. Okay, let's break up then. The color drained from Linda's face. The next moment, she kicked a nearby chair with a loud crash that made me flinch. She sneered. Fine. I hope you don't come crying to me like a dog, begging to get back together. That night, our mutual friend, Chris, video called me from Linda's birthday party. Chris asked, Leo, how come you're not at Linda's party? You guys are usually joined at the hip. I heard you two had a fight. You haven't made up yet? I wasn't sure how to explain. On the screen, Aiden, his face slightly flushed, was carefully presenting his gift to Linda. Linda, thank you for helping me out. This is a portrait I painted for you myself. It's not very expensive, but I spent a lot of days on it. Linda smiled as she took the gift and patted his head. Thank you. This is the best gift I've ever received. Just then, one of Linda's friends asked her, so Leo really didn't show up tonight? Linda, did you guys actually break up? Linda took a sip of her drink and laughed. Of course not. You believed that? Her friend laughed. Well, you should be nicer to your childhood sweetheart. Aren't you afraid your loyal puppy will actually leave? Linda smirked. What's there to be afraid of? He wouldn't dare. When has he ever been truly angry with me? He just throws a little tantrum, and he gets over it in a few days. The other day, I saw a note on his phone about getting me a limited edition Swiss watch for my birthday. I told him not to buy me such expensive things, but he insists that anything cheaper would be an insult to me. Sometimes I just don't know what to do with him. But no matter how expensive his gifts are, they're not as charming as what Aiden gives me. Chris smiled at me. See? She's not really mad at you. She's just a bit stubborn. Don't hold it against her. She's definitely waiting for you to apologize. So when are you going to go and make things right? I was silent for a moment. Then something felt very wrong. Why should I be the one to apologize? He was taken aback. Haven't you always been the one to apologize to her? Linda's so proud. You don't actually expect her to make the first move, do you? I looked at him. Me apologizing was based on the fact that I still liked her. What if I don't like her at all anymore? Chris's face changed. I looked past Chris and saw Linda standing there. I don't know how much of our conversation she had heard. She walked away with a cold expression, and a moment later, we heard a door slam from inside. Aiden rushed after her in a panic. After that, at school, she started ignoring me completely, laughing and joking with Aiden instead. During breaks, I'd often see Aiden and Linda getting water together. Once, I even saw Linda kneel down to tie his shoelaces. People around us started whispering. Looks like Leo really lost his childhood sweetheart. So what? Aiden's the campus heartthrob. They look perfect together. Leo is great and all, but he has a bad temper, a real rich kid attitude. If I were Linda, I'd choose the gentle, handsome guy too. Leo used to follow Linda around like he couldn't live without a woman. Now she won't even talk to him. It's pathetic, totally embarrassing. The exams were getting closer every day. I didn't have the energy to care about the gossip. I just buried my head in my review books and ignored them. In the evening, Mia placed a packed dinner in front of me. I had found out earlier that Mia was hesitant to use the money on her meal card. So I told her to just use the money I'd added as our shared food budget, and that she'd be in charge of buying my meals from then on. Only then did Mia start using the card. However, my portion was always full of meat and fish while hers was just vegetables. I put a chicken leg in her bowl. She paused, then put it back in my bowl and said softly, "I don't need to eat this." I frowned. Mia was beautiful, but her cheeks were still too thin. Linda had made sure Aiden was well fed. Why couldn't I do the same? Feeling challenged, I put down my chopsticks. If you don't listen, I'll get angry. From now on, your meals must have 4 dishes and a soup, 2 meat, 2 vegetable. I'll be checking every day. Understand? Thankfully, Mia was very obedient. When I said that, she just nodded and said okay with a smile. I was in a good mood, and then something else occurred to me. If I'm not mistaken, your birthday is coming up soon, right? This watch is for you. Consider it a birthday present. It's a limited edition Swiss watch. The one Linda wanted, but I wouldn't give her. I thought Mia would happily accept it, but she paused. Thank you, but I can't accept it. I was stunned, then my brow furrowed. Why not? You don't think it's expensive enough? Mia tightened her grip on her chopsticks. No, that's not it. I was getting annoyed. Then why won't you take it? I've never had a gift refused before. Mia looked at me, her gaze gentle but tinged with a faint sadness. I accept it. And then what? You want to use this to provoke Linda, don't you? I'm sorry. I know you like Linda. She sponsors Aiden and you sponsor me. I can't help but think you're just using me to make her jealous. I'm sorry. I think I've become greedy. I don't want to be a catalyst in your relationship, and I don't want to push her away from you. Actually, I was happy when Linda targeted me because Aiden gave me chocolate. The more she cared about him, the further she pushed you away. I know I might just be a toy to you, a tool. I know I'm not worth anything. I'm a nobody, and I shouldn't have these selfish thoughts. She bit her lip, but I can't help it. I was stunned. That night, it took me a long time to figure it out. Was Mia jealous? Early the next morning, I walked into the classroom to see Linda and her friends rummaging through Mia's backpack. Mia's desk was a mess. Her books and notes were thrown all over the floor. Linda said to Aiden, who was standing nearby, Aiden, the necklace my dad gave me is missing. Why don't you ask your dear childhood friend to give it back? The comments panicked. Oh no, this is the scene. The second female lead frames the main character for stealing her necklace, and everyone starts treating her like a thief. This is where the bullying really starts. It's over. Leo is going to misunderstand Mia. I feel so bad for the main character. Aiden did as Linda said, cautiously approaching Mia and holding out his hand. Mia, just give Linda her necklace back. Mia's face was cold. I told you I don't have it. It wasn't me. Aiden bit his lip. If you really like her necklace, I'll work hard and save up to buy you one. Okay? The class started murmuring. What does Aiden mean by that? So Mia really did steal Linda's necklace? No way, she's the top student in our grade. She wouldn't do something like that. Don't forget, Mia's poor. You can't just assume she wouldn't steal because her grades are good. That necklace is a designer brand. Costs like $1,500. That's enough to cover her living expenses for a whole year. The comments started arguing. I don't get it, why would Aiden say that? Does he like Mia or not? Yeah, if he likes her, why would he play dumb and say something like that? If he doesn't, why did he give her chocolate on Valentine's Day? You guys don't understand. The more Aiden acts like he likes Mia, the more jealous Linda gets, and the nicer she is to him. But by the same token, the more she'll go after Mia. Ugh. Mia is so unlucky to have a childhood friend like him. Just then, Linda smiled and waved her hand dismissively. Forget it. If your friend likes the necklace so much, I'll just give it to her. Let's not make things hard for her. Her family has it tough, after all. The class started to cheer. That's our rich girl, so generous. Linda saw me come in and smiled. See? This is the person you're sponsoring. I told you poor people are a handful, but you still wanted to sponsor her. Consider this a lesson learned. From now on, you should probably keep your distance from her. Mia hadn't looked at the jeering crowd once, as if their whispers and taunts couldn't touch her. But the moment I walked into the classroom, she snapped her head up. The indifference in her eyes vanished, replaced by an unprecedented urgency. She took half a step forward, her voice trembling in a way she probably didn't even notice, desperately trying to make me believe her. Leo, it wasn't me. I didn't steal it. The comments were heartbroken. This is the moment that makes her turn to the dark side later. The entire class turns on her, and no one believes her. That's what makes her so vengeful in the future. Did you see how she was about to break when the male side character showed up? She was fine before. She's terrified he'll hate her. I stepped forward, standing in front of Mia, and said directly to Linda, "Mia didn't steal your necklace." Mia froze, looking at me in disbelief. Linda, clearly not expecting me to defend Mia, flew into a rage. "I know you're trying to piss me off, but you can't just blindly defend a thief." I asked her, "How much was the necklace you lost?" A flash of contempt crossed Linda's eyes. $1,500. Enough for her to live on for a year. I smiled. Yesterday, for her birthday, I offered her a limited edition Swiss watch worth $75,000, and she turned it down. Do you really think she would refuse my watch just to steal your cheap necklace? In that moment, the entire classroom went silent. Aiden was stunned. Mia seemed to have never imagined I would believe in her so staunchly. The light slowly returned to her eyes. The comments popped up in front of me. "Oh no, the female lead is going to fall so hard for the side character now. I mean, seriously, no one has ever stood up for Mia without a reason, giving her 100% trust. Who wouldn't fall for that? Never thought the plot would go in this direction." Linda's face turned ugly. "Leo, that watch, weren't you planning to give that to me?" I couldn't help but laugh. "Linda, we already broke up. Why would you think I'd still be laying everything you like at your feet, just like before? Mia is interesting, so I wanted to give her a gift. Is that a problem?" Linda suddenly grabbed my arm. "You'd really do this to me?" I looked at her and gently pushed her hand away. "Linda, there's nothing between us anymore. Please don't touch me." Her face instantly darkened. Her lips pressed into a thin line, her jaw tight. "Fine, Leo. Don't you regret this?" She kicked the chair next to her and stormed off. After that, she started doting on Aiden in front of me more and more. Her social feed was constantly updated with everything about Aiden. Sometimes it was her skipping class to take Aiden to Disneyland. Other times it was her giving Aiden an expensive watch. Every photo seemed like she was deliberately showing off to someone. Rumors about her swirled outside the classroom. They all said Linda seemed to be going off the rails, that she had really fallen for Aiden, skipping school and getting into fights for him. But I didn't have the energy to care about any of it. I was too busy trying to get on Mia's good side. The live comments said Mia was a future top scorer on the college entrance exams. I started bringing Mia over to my house often for one-on-one tutoring. Thanks to Mia's help, my grades leveled up. The numbers on the countdown board decreased day by day, and the date of the college entrance exams on the blackboard drew closer. I buried myself in books, opening my notes at dawn and working through problems under my desk lamp late into the night. Before the mock exams, I was studying. Suddenly, Chris called me out of breath. "Leo, you have to do something about Linda. The mock exams are tomorrow, and she skipped class again to go out with Aiden. Her dad said if she keeps this up, he's cutting her off. Linda only ever listened to you, Leo. Please go check on her." The live comments were buzzing. The second female lead definitely told Chris to make that call. She wants the side character to come and manage her like he used to. See, she still cares about him. If the side character goes back, the second female lead might even consider getting back together with you tonight. Mia tapped my paper with her pen. "Leo, this problem is important. Don't get distracted." I said to Chris, "I'm busy. From now on, don't call me about her problems." I hung up. The comments were dumbfounded. "LOL, looks like the side character really doesn't care about the second female lead anymore. I think this is great." In the novel, the side character was so messed up over the second female lead that he bombed his exams. Don't you think a guy who drops the drama and focuses on his studies is way cooler? The comments were right. I really didn't want to waste any more time competing with Aiden for attention. On the day of the college entrance exams, Mia and I were at the same test center. At the school gate, she looked at me like a mother sending off her son. "Don't be nervous. Just do your best." We walked to our separate exam halls, heading toward our own futures. After the exams were over, Mia recited the questions to me, and I tried my best to recall my answers. After we compared, she let out a sigh of relief and looked at me, pleased. "Leo, you nailed it." The results came out. I heard from my parents that Linda had choked and only got into a second-tier university. Her dad was furious and nearly killed her. Aiden just barely passed the cutoff for a 4-year university. He burst into tears when he saw his score, and Linda had to console him for a long time. The night the scores were released, our class president organized a reunion. Aiden, dressed to the nines, sat next to Linda. Mia and I had always had good grades. The class president asked about our scores. I smiled. We're not sure. Our scores were sealed. The class president's face lit up. Congratulations. You're definitely getting into Harvard or MIT. A flash of jealousy crossed Aiden's eyes. But the next second, he wrapped his arm around Linda's and said clingingly, Linda, let's go to the same city for college. I want to see the South. But Linda was looking at me. Leo, which university do you think I should apply to? Couldn't be bothered. Go wherever you want. What does it have to do with me? She froze, and her face darkened again. During dinner, Mia was constantly peeling shrimp and putting food on my plate. I put a piece of beef on her plate too. Don't just feed me. You eat too. Mia's ears turned red, and she let out a soft laugh. Linda watched our interaction, a sour feeling brewing inside her. After dinner, Mia and I went for a walk. Just then, Linda chased after us. Her bangs were damp with sweat. She held out her hand to me, her tone an undeniable command. Leo, come here. I didn't move. Her eyes swept over Mia, a storm brewing in their depths as she demanded, Are you with Mia now? My heart skipped a beat. What's it to you? She took a deep breath, as if resigning herself to her fate. Leo, you win. Let's get back together. I was stunned. What? She looked at me. I said, I'm willing to back down. Let's get back together. I know you came out here because you're jealous of Aiden. You broke up with me and deliberately acted all close with her just to make me jealous, to force me to make up with you. Well, you got what you wanted, Leo. I'm willing to get back together. She still had that same condescending attitude, as if I should be grateful that she was willing to grace me with an apology. But she was the one who said to break up, and now she was the one who wanted to get back together. Why should I let her control my emotions? Linda, I was serious about breaking up. I said word by word, and I never once thought about getting back together with you. Linda was dumbfounded. Don't tell me you've actually fallen for her? I didn't answer. Linda looked as if she'd heard the funniest joke in the world. She pointed a finger at Mia, her voice dripping with contempt. Her? A scholarship kid who can barely support herself? How is she worthy of you? Leo, has she put some kind of spell on you? I looked at her and laughed. Whether she's worthy or not isn't up to you. At least the emotional support she gives me is a lot more than you ever did. All those gifts I gave you, you turned around and gave them all to Aiden without so much as a proper thank you. Even a dog would be loyal after being fed for so many years. But you? Linda, do you really think the world revolves around you? That everyone will just coddle and enable you? Sorry, but I'm not a masochist. I'm not going to let someone hurt me again and still get back together with them. At least Mia is way cuter and a lot more considerate than you. With that, I didn't spare Linda another glance. I took Mia's hand and walked away. As I led her away, after we'd gone some distance, she said softly, Leo, you know, this is going to make me spoiled. I stopped and turned to look at her. The moonlight fell on her straight nose, outlining a beautiful profile. I smiled. Well then, I'd like to see just how spoiled you can get. Aiden deliberately chose a university in the South. It was thousands of miles away from the university I was going to. He knew Linda would follow him. He even posted on his feed to show off. Heading to a university in the South with my amazing big sis Linda, who has always taken care of me. So excited for my college life, but I couldn't care less, because I was waiting for the most important plot point in the book. When the final exam results were announced, Mia was, as expected, the top science scorer in the entire state. The news was everywhere, and the Hayworth family found her through all the media attention. Suddenly, the poor girl Linda always talked about was from a family even more prominent than her own. To put it in perspective, the Hayworths were a connection even my dad couldn't reach. My dad had always wanted to do business with them. Because of my relationship with Mia, the Hayworths personally arranged a meeting with my dad, and they smoothly sealed a deal. While our families were talking business, my phone died, so I started messing around on Mia's. Suddenly, a notification popped up from an unknown number. Mia, it's Aiden. Congratulations on finding your birth parents. I've always cared about you, and I'd like to take you out to dinner to celebrate. Is that okay? I smiled and showed the message to Mia. You've got quite a few admirers. Mia sat up straight and said obediently, I don't know him well. Could you reply for me? That was exactly what I wanted. I sent Aiden a voice message. Aren't you supposed to be going to the same university as your big sis Linda? You have time to celebrate with Mia? Aiden replied pitifully, Leo, why do you have Mia's phone? Why are you always bullying me? Mia is my childhood friend. I just wanted to congratulate her. What did I do wrong? I replied, bullying you? Aiden, you've really perfected this victim act. When you were blindly accusing Mia of being a thief, did you think of her as your childhood friend then? You know exactly what you're up to. You're happily spending Linda's money and wearing the watch she gave you, and then you turn around and send these shady messages to someone else. Who do you think is the fool here? Congratulate her? I think you heard she's a Hayworth heiress and want to find a new person to leech off of. When Linda was skipping class for you and breaking up with me for you, why didn't you think about keeping your distance then? Now that Mia is on top, you're setting your sights on her? Cut the innocent act. Don't dirty her message list. If you send one more message, I won't just screenshot this for Linda. I'll post our entire chat history in the class group chat for everyone to see what you're really like. Aiden went silent. Just thinking about the look on his face when he read that message made me want to laugh. But I couldn't be bothered to actually send the screenshots to Linda. I didn't want to waste my time on these people. I thought after that confrontation he'd finally back off and go back to clinging to Linda. After all, only Linda was willing to give him so much. If he were smart, he would hold on tight. But unexpectedly, at the last minute for college applications, Linda, in a fit of madness, applied to a university in my city. After we started college, I heard from friends that Linda had originally promised to sponsor Aiden through university. But now, for some reason, she had changed her mind. Lately, she'd been focusing all her attention on me, frequently showing up at my dorm with gifts. Sometimes it was limited edition sneakers I liked, other times it was tickets to my favorite concerts. She would stand outside my dorm, wearing a clean white shirt, her hair slightly messy from the wind. When she saw me, her eyes would fill with a cautious hope. Leo, I brought you all the things you like. I'll be good to you this time, I promise. Will you forgive me? But without exception, I threw every single one of those things into the trash can right in front of her. Even so, she would show up again the next week like clockwork, as if she were stubbornly trying to prove something with this clumsy method. As for Mia, even though she was now a Hayworth heiress, she wasn't arrogant at all. She would transfer money to me from time to time, and the gifts never stopped coming. Sometimes I'd look at the balance in my bank account and feel like I could never spend it all. A lot of people pursued me in college, and every time someone confessed their feelings to me, Mia would discreetly appear. She would either interrupt them or coax me by saying, we should focus on our studies in college. We can't get into a relationship too early. One time, I couldn't resist poking her cheek and teasing her. Well, if I were dating you, would it still count as too early? Mia froze, her mouth opening and closing without a word, but the tips of her ears turned a deep red. Seeing her like that, a sudden impulse washed over me. I leaned down and gently pressed my lips against hers. Mia's body went rigid. The next second, she wrapped her arms around my neck and carefully deepened the kiss. I saw Linda standing behind a tree not far away. The shoebox she was holding fell to the ground with a clatter, and the sneakers inside tumbled out. She clenched her fists, her expression shattering. I lowered my head, cupped Mia's face, and deliberately deepened our kiss. Seeing this, Linda turned and fled. The live comments seemed to have slowly accepted the change in the story. LOL, Linda really thought Leo would just wait around forever for her to take him back. What a clown. I think this is the best ending. The female lead doesn't spend her life consumed by hatred. Instead, she has someone to be with her and love her. And she learned how to love someone properly, too. After that, the live comments disappeared. The days that followed were like lemonade sprinkled with sugar, sweet, tart, and refreshing. No matter what we were doing, Mia would habitually hold my hand. Sunlight streamed through the window, falling on our clasped hands, as warm as the palm of her hand. We would spend weekends exploring every little alley in the city. When the first snow of winter fell, she would tuck my hand into her coat pocket. Honestly, the time I spent with Linda was nowhere near as happy or peaceful as the time I spent with Mia. I didn't have to worry about when she would give me the cold shoulder next. I didn't have to be afraid of her breaking up with me over something trivial. I looked forward to her messages every day. Every day, I wished for days like this to last a little longer, and then a little longer. It turns out a good relationship really does make you feel completely at ease, like a blanket that's been warmed by the sun, comforting in every fiber. Don't try to fix someone who doesn't cherish you. You should love someone who is already good on their own, and who is good only to you. A love built on mutual understanding and appreciation is the greatest happiness in the world.